Everybody, welcome to the Rapids Parish Library main branch. Yeah.
Thank you.
And for the Love of Food program, it's our 5th year.
You've been doing it for a while.
My 4th episode.
Yeah.
We had COVID in the middle there. So far, I'm doing Asian food. I started off with Vietnamese special fried rice. Following year was Madras chicken curry in a hurry. Last year, I did a spicy dish called Kung Po Shop Top from Tibet, and it set me on fire for a while, so I had to lay off spicy food for a long time. But this year, I'm going to do Japanese meatballs. They're called Niku Dango. It's a braised pork and beef meatball, 50% of each. Most of the meatballs they do make in Japan are made of pork. Beef hasn't been part of their diet on a large scale until like 1872. What we call beef cattle were used in Japan for plowing. They would make oxen out of regular cattle, leather, anything but eating, milk. Although they don't have a lot of dairy in their diet at the time, they did have the milk. And when they began receiving imports from the rest of the Western world, they started getting a lot of cattle from the United States. So the emperor, in his infinite wisdom, said, "Why don't we let the common people eat beef?" They do have a beef in Japan. When the calves are born, they never touch the ground once they start to walk. They put them in a harness. They're kept, they eat constantly. They're fed beer, high-calorie beer. They are massaged every day for a couple hours at a time to make it tender. They're fat and people love it, but it runs, I think it was the last time I looked, was like $200 a pound. Ooh. So I'm going to stick to going to Kroger with that one. I'm not going to complain about that price of beef too much. So let's get started. We've got to have half a pound of beef and a half a pound of pork. I use like 80% lean. Going to have salt, and I use Himalayan salt. I just like it. It was a gift one time. I started using it. Not bad. I use it mostly for Asian cooking, but you can use any kind of salt. Black pepper, any type. There's fine. There's this is a coarse grind, and then there's that really cracked pepper. I mean, big pieces. Any vegetable oil that you like, you can use. I wouldn't really recommend a shortening because it tends to be heavy. Make it heavy in the cooking. So, but any of your favorite vegetables, safflower, sunflower, corn, in this case, vegetable oil. You're going to need garlic, a quarter pound of mushrooms that's been chopped up, your favorite mushroom if you have one. Just plain old white mushrooms are good. They have a blend that you can buy that has some shiitake and oyster mushrooms in it, although there's usually more white mushrooms in there because they're expensive on their own. Water chestnuts, now I've already got some, but they just come in a can. Get the sliced kind. If you can't, that's no problem. Get the whole ones, slice them up. You need about 3.5 ounces of those. Now with canned stuff, I put it to soak in ice water to get some of that metal taste. Any vegetable is good, I guess, in a can, but you got to soak it a while, get that flavor out of it after you drain it. 3/4 cup of beef broth, any brand. I use the less sodium. And let's see. Yeah, you can use regular ginger root, but I like to use this paste. It has a good flavor. Doesn't matter what brand. It's a little more intense and it comes across more than the regular root. Now, if you got to buy ginger root, I should have brought a piece with me. If it's got wrinkles in it, don't buy that one. It's drying out. You won't get that flavor that you want in it. It should be firm, but it's brown skin on it, but it's smoother. It's, like I said, it doesn't look more like a prune. So you don't want that one. In the recipe case, it says 3 scallions. These are a little on the skinny side, so I got 5. That should do it. And this recipe that I'm using, a long time ago when I grew up in Gina, there was a cookbook called The Complete Book of Oriental Cooking. Well, this is not it. I photocopied every recipe in there. And in the years moving around, they vanished, disappeared, wherever. This one I got at the Shreveport Library book sale. It stays in one place on my shelf because I don't want to lose it. There are a lot of basic recipes. Nothing's really complicated. It's, what's the lady's name? It's Waldo. She is a...
Myra Waldo.
Myra Waldo. She's wrote several books. She used to have a column. I'm not sure how old she is now, but she had cooking columns in the New York Times and other big newspapers. San Francisco Journal, Chronicle or Journal, all those big ones. So we're going to get started.
She passed in 2004.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Google is faster than any of us.
But yeah, I used to have some magazine cookbooks, and her picture was pasted all through there. All right, I'm going to get started preparing. We've already got the pork, ground meat. I need to get the salt. Teaspoon. Like I said before, preparation is save a lot of headaches when you start cooking. Most of us stir fry and can't run to the cabinet when you need it. Let's say black pepper. It's a heaping quarter teaspoon. My other item, soy sauce. Like I said, I like to use the low sodium. This is a particular brand. Kikkoman is brewed like they've been doing for a long time, but it's got a lot less salt than some of the other brands. They all usually are green. Somehow they got it colored green.
Sometimes I get that pink Himalayan salt at the Dollar Tree. Have you ever tried that? Is it any good?
I've been using it. I've got a big jar somebody gave me, and I'm still working. This is what's left so far. I got it several years ago. Okay.
Makes you think that salt is salt.
I do too.
Yeah.
I mean, pink must have some kind of mineral in there, but it probably still tastes like salt.
Got a lamb that's about this big around me, that I Himalayan salt.
I've got one in a box. Somebody
My
gave me.
daughter has that. I said, you are so full. That doesn't do anything.
It's supposed to do
Improves her
something.
mood or something.
It's supposed to do
Do
something.
you know what you got it on? Because it's not heated
Not
up.
yet. Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm just prepping everything, and
Okay.
since I'm going to use this, I'm going to go ahead and.
It gets really hot really fast, so.
That's good. All right.
I don't know if I've ever saw that's the Kroger's brand.
I use a lot of paper towels when I cook.
That's why I leave it for you.
All right. What I'm going to use the cornstarch for is to make the meatballs. I've already measured it out.
Is that your cornstarch?
Yes, ma'am. It doesn't matter what brand. Sometimes I think they all come from the cornstarch. They all come from the same place. You're going to roll your meatballs in this later.
Later? Okay, so I don't
Yeah.
have to move it yet.
It's all prepped now. Okay, what's next here? The garlic. What do I do with it? There it is. Now, it says 1 clove of garlic, but we live in Louisiana, so.
Oh, thank goodness. I saw that and I thought, oh no, 1 clove. It's not gonna work.
I'm gonna use, or you can go through a clove sometime with all these teeny tiny. Oh, and here's a little tip, if you buy garlic like I do out of the counter, take a look at that bottom part. If it's, I think the word is concave, going in, don't buy that. It's gonna be more bitter because it's harvested in Asia. You wanna buy the kind that sticks out a little bit. We even export garlic to Asia from California.
That's real handy to know.
I forget what the name, they have a garlic festival in California. This one valley is just nothing, they do nothing but garlic.
Gilroy.
Gilroy Valley?
It's on the
Yep.
list.
Pam's well-traveled.
I'm gonna cut that little piece of root off. Yeah, thank you. This is the way I peel it. I don't remember where I learned to do this. Probably one of those cooking shows. That guy, what's his name? He does that show with the wok. Used to do it a long time ago.
Walk with Juan.
Yeah, Walk-a-doodle-doo.
I used to love it. The chefs on PBS used to be so great.
Well, so many of them now have their restaurants and they'll do a show for a couple of years and I got to get back to my restaurant or write my books or be in a movie. That's what I like about my Chinese knife. It's not a cleaver. Cleaver's too heavy. You can scoop with it.
He's handy.
Yeah, 1/4 pound of mushrooms. That's it. We'll chop those. I don't have a particular way to chop them. No.
Where did you get your knife?
I'm sorry?
Where did you get your knife?
That was a gift to me from
Christine and Patrick.
a friend of mine who used to live in Georgia. It's very nice. What's so funny is it's made out of German steel. But I'll tell you what, it is good
It's an
steel.
international knife.
Yeah. I've
So
got,
how do you keep it sharp? Do you send it off to sharpen or do you sharpen it
no, I
yourself?
actually had this thing you pull the blade through.
Oh.
It's not great, but I'm not any, I've tried and tried to do it myself with the steel and all.
Well, I'm gonna try to get someone in here in February to teach us how to sharpen mower blades and knife blades and things like that. Because I need that.
If you notice, my handle, I pointed this out last time, my handle's getting a little worn out.
It's well loved.
Yes, but it fits my hand real good. I've got some rosewood from India and somebody told me there's a knife shop in Colombia, not the country, the town, that I should contact them.
On the north side or the south side of Columbia? South side. I have a whole bunch.
It's where the old Jitney Jungle was a long time ago. If anybody doesn't know what Jitney Jungle was, that was a grocery store. It was around the time that Piggly Wiggly was. From what I hear, there's still a few, but they're like, don't have any their own warehouses or anything. They just buy from a dealer.
I miss all of those old ones. Really waiting for this.
Yep, my dad had one in Gina.
Randy, do you know if your knife has a name or brand or anything on it? Any
Well, this particular
markings?
brand, it just says Solingen, Germany. And that's one of the better steels. They've been making steel products for hundreds of years.
That's just the town that it was made in.
Oh, it's just a town?
A city, well, an area too. I think it's in a valley, if I'm not mistaken.
I was gonna take a picture of it for her.
I know it's not a cleaver.
But you can say a Japanese cleaver.
Got my mushroom sprout
This is what it says on it, but I think there's.
and the water chestnuts. They are all sliced. I've got 3.5 ounces there. It's- When this recipe was written, from what I understand, you couldn't buy canned water chestnuts. You would have to go to like Chinatown or wherever your Asian market was. And then
We could buy them.
LaChoy and Chungking came along and says, put them in cans. So that works out good. You can even buy, foreign brands if you go to like the Vietnamese market on Jackson Street, or what's the Asian market over by Books A Million? They have them. Sir?
There's a good one up there in Monroe that we go to.
Asian market?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Okay. Garlic chestnut broth. I know. Okay. I know.
He said it definitely was not a cleaver.
Yeah, it looks like it, but in fact, if you try like your cracked bones or something, well, you're gonna get a big gouge in it. It's just not made for that. I need those measuring cups because I ran off a fluid measure. That's not what I need. I need the measuring cups. I knew I made 2 trips back. I forgot things. Let's see. Ginger root. What do I do with it? There it is.
Finally, somebody's gonna use my measuring cup.
All right.
I bought these, nobody ever uses them.
That's a heaping teaspoon of ginger paste, though.
Oh, I smell it.
I love ginger.
I love that smell.
Medicinally, it's good for you. It's supposed to be.
Could you give us the brand name of the ginger, please?
Ma'am?
Brand name
I'll
of the
show it.
ginger.
Well, this particular one is called Spice World. You can also get
Spice
it.
World.
They also have tubes of it. They're in the refrigerator case.
What is that?
This is the ginger he used.
Ginger paste, yeah.
It's made by Spice World.
Oh, okay.
I've seen it like.
There are other
with-
brands.
Yeah, they have basil and garlic and other stuff in the same little container.
All right, let's see.
Is it not spicy?
But I've seen it in, like, Super One has it in the produce.
Oh, really?
You know where they have like their
They don't have that in the store, but they get.
salads in the refrigerator?
Yes.
Yeah.
They close now.
Fresh herbs, expensive plastic.
Your belts.
Now the refrigerated, some of the pastes are refrigerated, the tube ones. And this one is not refrigerated until you open it, then you put it in your refrigerator.
I was in there now.
It's vacuum
I was over there
packed.
where,
Certainly smells wonderful.
I love it. When you mix it with garlic and something, it's really nice. All right. I'm gonna pull off a couple of brown tips on these green onions or scallions, however you want to call them. Like I said, these were a little on the skinny side. So I'm using 5 instead of 3. If you get some nice big fat ones, just use 3. Line it up.
What's the difference between green onions and scallions?
Scallion? Nothing. It's just,
That's ginger of the century. Nobody-
I've heard it's called spring onions and everything else, so. At least I don't think there is. I've never heard of any difference. Now I'm just chopping these about maybe a 1/4 inch. I can't do that fast chop, 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 chop thing like the chefs do. Maybe because I like my fingers.
Scallions and green onions are literally the same thing. Except for probably scallions cost more.
Yeah, if you call them scallions, it costs more, okay. Now, here's a type that has a ball on the end. I really like, but the ones I saw when I went to the store, they didn't look too good. They're really limp, so. That stayed on the shelf.
A spring onion is different though.
Oh, well, see, I learned something. And what I do with them, I mix them up a little bit. All right. That down.
I put this out there because I didn't know you had one, so I
Oh,
wanted to ask.
okay. Well, I'm not opening one. This one I just bought to show it.
Oh.
They look like a tuna can almost.
What is it?
It was the water chestnut.
That's the water
can.
chestnut.
Oh.
I
These
thought we needed to
particular
open
ones
it.
were actually grown in the United States, La Choy
Oh.
and Chongqing. They're all grown in the U.S. Now, there are some you can buy that are grown overseas. I've tried those once, and there's a lot of brown freckles, if you want to call it. I mean, it didn't look appetizing. You're going to get some of those, but there was a lot in these. All right, now, that's not what I want to do yet. So, this is the fun part. Of mixing your ground pork and your ground beef. Now, I did wash my hands, but this meat is sticky when you're mashing it all together.
Yes.
I should have done this beforehand. I forgot you gotta pull a Ziploc for it. Half a pound each. Now, I've looked online and a lot of the braised Japanese meatballs that you get, they're mostly pork. But I like the older recipes.
I moved it a tiny bit and it flops back to where I don't want it to be.
It's like those lamps with the
As soon as I know.
adjustable lamps. They just don't want to stay.
moves. What's that? Don't get it back.
The good thing about mixing it, like, is after a minute you can't tell the pork from the beef. One's redder, the beef's usually redder than the pork.
That was a half a pound of each, so.
Yes, half a pound each, get a
Exactly.
pound of each. And let's see. You know, I might try pork sausage one day, because like I said, the Japanese usually mostly pork in their meatballs. In fact, when I was comparing it online to the one I had in there, most of the mixed ones were Italian. That's not what I'm looking for.
Not the right thing.
I like this mildly coarse pepper. You get a nice aroma from it, and the flavor kind of stands out a little bit. So you mix your salt, your pepper, soy sauce, and this is the fun part, the messy part. At home, I usually let it sit out for about 15 minutes because this stuff is really cold. I'm sorry?
You know better.
Now stay in your lane.
Do you ever look at the night before that season soak food?
Yep, I actually made those samples before this morning. Well, I didn't let it sit overnight, no. Most of what I have as far as recipes goes don't call for that. Now, making tandoori chicken, that's a job. You gotta make the marinade, you gotta put all the meat in it, and let it sit over at least, they all say at least 24 hours. So, and it's a job, but it's so good.
You cook it in your oven?
Tandoori, yeah, as hot as I can get my oven. You're really supposed to have a
Yeah.
big clay oven in the ground full of coals. And it gets really hot.
I'm not digging a hole for that.
Not really. I'm tempted to try it on my smoker, even though it doesn't get that hot. Okay, now. Before I roll that, I think that makes gloves slide.
I have more gloves if you need.
I've got some.
Oh, you do?
Thank you.
I'm always good by the.
These are powder free. It's not going to be any weird taste in there. In fact, these are for food, handling food. Oops. I think my hands might be on the big side for these. There we go. I normally use my clean bare hands, but I've got a cut on my finger. So I did not want to get that in my finger. Okay. All right. Here's the fun part. Might seem like a boring part. Now I use this thing because I don't know how to make walnut-sized meatballs. If you want to Are these come in two sizes? Too small and too big? No. Actually, this one's just right. I tried using the other one a while back, and I looked at the meatball, I'm like, I gotta pull these in half. They were just too big. All right. You should get like 16 to 18. The serving size, if you serve it as individual things, as an individual meal, would be 4 to 6, depending on how hungry anybody was. Serve it with rice. Soba, my soba noodles were out of date, so I asked for rice. They're a buckwheat noodle. First time I tried this, sounds like graham crackers, but no, it's fully ground wheat. They're dark. They're not pretty, at least in my opinion.
How did you get interested in Asian food in particular?
Ma'am?
How did your interest
I
develop
couldn't
in
tell you.
Asian food?
First place I ever ate was on MacArthur Drive here. There was a big boy that had converted into a Chinese restaurant years ago. That was the first time I ate there. And just developed, I really like Indian food. I just have to be careful with the peppers.
There's only one Indian restaurant here in town. There's
Yes,
one
ma'am.
now.
Yes, ma'am.
It's expensive.
Yes, ma'am.
Everything is crazy.
I'm not gonna name them, but yeah, but they are, really. I've been to a lot of it, you know. I've got cookbooks from all over the place. And well, I've even got a Burmese cookbook, which is a little puzzling to me. It's kind of in between India and Cambodia in there. It's a lot of vegetables. In fact, this cookbook I have is so old, it doesn't have Vietnam and Cambodia. It has Indochina. I can kind of tell them apart by the ingredients if I look close enough. Also, you have to watch what you're doing with it because, for example, fish sauce, nobody could get fish sauce back then. So they say use a little anchovy paste. And that's what fish sauce is, fermented anchovies. First time I bought that and opened the bottle, I said, I must have got a bad bottle. And I took it back and the guy just laughed at me. He said, no, that's what it's supposed to smell like.
I don't like anchovies. I take them off, the little ones, I have them take them off when I buy anything.
Yeah, I learned to eat them direct on pizza. We had a Nico's Pizza in Pineville. That's where I learned to eat them. He used to take them out, he'd big cans of them from Italy, and he would take them out. Yeah. This isn't the greatest thing in the world. I wish it was stainless, but it's not. Y'all might be better making meatballs than me as far as judging the size and all. I have to use this thing. It's sticking a lot now. I did learn a while back you don't want to wash these aluminum meatball maker in the dishwasher. It's this white gunk on it. Oxidation, I guess you call it. Just like putting a Magnolite in a dishwasher. You don't want to do that either.
If you're talking about the book, The Complete Book of Oriental Cooking, it was released January 1965. I was born a month and 13 days later.
I thought it was earlier than that. I was born in 58.
Okay, that could be.
Yeah, this one was 1960.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what the original cover looked like. The only time I've ever seen them is they had that library production cover on them. I guess the old cover might have been paper or something. Wore out.
Well, it has to be popular or they wouldn't have found it.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Sorry.
I'm 60. You know that
Right. Just about done here. Okay. Well, that's something I never noticed. The meatball maker's from Japan.
And your Japanese knife is from Germany.
Well, actually, these are Japanese meatballs, so. All right. Gonna roll these in cornstarch. It's okay if they're not perfectly round, because they're gonna go in that wok in a minute. Now, I used a giant skillet, so this might be a little different.
Is it on already?
No, but I'm about to turn it. That heats up fast. I'm about to turn it on. I get about halfway through when I turn it on. Oops.
I have all your stuff soaking in hot water, and I was just thinking, Good thing I don't have a dishwasher. I would stick it all in there.
So that'll make a mess. Did you come turn this all the way up so it gets hot? And then I'm gonna put it on medium when I get these done.
400. It's gonna be blazing in about 2 seconds. It gets hot.
We need to get you a gas stove in here.
A gas stove?
Yeah, right there.
I think the director would have something to say about that. No open flames or something like
Yeah,
that.
darn it.
When you're around, 50,000 very flowers to roll them in.
I'm sorry?
Why do you use cornstarch instead of flour to roll them in?
Well, that's what the recipe called for. Asian cooking, they use a lot of cornstarch. They call it corn flour, but they use it thickeners to coat food with.
Crispy, and it's lighter texture than flour is.
Ma'am?
It's lighter in texture than flour is, so it makes things more crispy.
That's true. It does make it more crispy. It's like getting tiny spicy chicken. That's usually at least a mix with cornstarch. Sometimes they mix flour with them. I might make that my next cooking session.
Okay. We all love tiny spicy
Or at
chicken.
least my variation. It's a secret.
Yeah. And he won't give me the recipe either because it's a secret.
No,
It's a top secret recipe.
I've been all over the internet. I didn't have the $3,000 to buy the recipe.
Wow. Oh, yeah, that was blazing. Want me to cut it down?
Oh, yeah, I have. I'm about done here.
Thank you for blazing hot in no time. I'm telling you, I paid nothing for it, but they're really expensive now. It's an easy motion.
All right, let's do it.
Less than $50. I've got $4.
All right.
That thing is nice.
We're gonna start browning these. The object is not to cook them all the way yet. Just about.
I wouldn't do that.
Now, because the braising takes a while, I went ahead and made samples ahead of time. This morning. I'll leave that in. Huh?
Rice?
Right here, fine.
This is good. I don't want to block anybody's view, so. It's pretty warm. I'm not even going to plug it in.
Just trying to get them nice and brown. I tried the method of putting the cornstarch in a gallon Ziploc. One time, tossing the meatball, they turned to mush.
Oh, that doesn't work.
You can't toss that soft meat like that in there without it just flopping around.
Good thing you told me that, because I was thinking.
Yeah, I saw the recipe of roll them, I'll just put them in a Ziploc. Yeah, uh-huh.
Now you know why. I said roll.
Sorry, I thought I heard somebody with a question. It takes a moment.
So are the green onions for sprinkling on top, or?
That's for the last 5, when you get to the last 5 minutes of braising, you throw them in there and stir it, cover it up,
Okay.
wait 5 minutes. It's hard to wait.
I bet.
Now, that recipe I wrote down said 25 minutes. On my stove, it took 20. They were hard. First time I did it.
Yeah.
So, depends on what your stove type is. Y'all excuse me, I don't mean not to talk to anybody. Picture is still your picture. Sure. Just about got them brown.
So what did you end up putting the block on?
Well, this one's on, trying to figure out where, 250 right now.
250, okay.
I had it up and then it started getting hot and I turned it back down. All right, I've got them brown.
250.
The brown, so now I have to add, my brain went away, garlic. And let's see what else. Mushrooms. Probably all go the same time. And water chestnuts. Sometimes I think they're mainly for texture, but they're not hard. Okay, I need 3 minutes.
Yeah, the last thing is ginger and green onions are the only things that
And
we
I have
have.
no internet now for some reason.
And what?
Okay. My phone's been giving me 3 minutes. Okay. For a while, I actually found some shiitake mushrooms in a can at Family Dollar. This has been a while back. You rinse them in soap and they were it. I can't get them. They were by that company called Polo. They make a lot of jams and jellies now. They were good. I should have bought all ahead. Would be out of date by now. Have to kind of watch it because it may strip. At least until you add the broth and you got ginger. Switch. I think so too. How's the time going?
56 seconds.
Okay. Nothing wrong keeping it going. You need to have a food truck. Go ahead. All right. Add my broth, 3/4 cup, and my ginger.
Also the ginger.
They want some ginger they show on TV. Instead of cube.
That's basically what I use. Can you put that on 20 minutes? Now let me get it bubbling. And we can do the samples now while people are waiting. Just sitting here for 20 minutes is.
Y'all want me to serve it?
Okay.
It's bubbling.
I think I'm not done. I don't want to unplug the crock pot.
I did turn that down low. I did turn it down low.
Okay. I left the spoon.
This can also be served like on toothpicks and stuff like that, but then you don't get all the sauce and water chestnut unless you want to go to the trouble. Put the chestnut, water chestnut on
Yeah,
top.
between every, how many do you think? We have 17 people.
How many people?
17.
Two maybe. And this will have to be more. Got it, Trent? Oh, that thing.
Oh, you put the onion there, we put it on there.
No, there's already an onion in there. That goes in here. In the last 5 minutes.
Do we have, no, I'm not sure. They're both pretty hot.
It's gonna take some.
Oh, thank y'all. I'm going as fast as I can. Look, Randy. Oh, sorry. That's all right.
Trying to find that spot. Thank you, Nick.
So Randy, this is delicious.
Thank you.
It's delicious.
I think so.
Very good.
And I like it because it's always something, when Randy comes, it's always something none of us have ever made before.
You're right.
You know, that's my favorite.
When you put it there, you never tasted it before.
Well, bring it on.
I'm not counting on how many of them we're doing.
I haven't either. I have a count over there, and last time I looked, I think it said 17.
Have I noticed that there's not a lot of gravy?
Me too.
That's perfectly acceptable with Japanese. They don't like to drown their food in gravy or sauce.
That's my favorite part.
Me too. I like that it has gravy, that's what I like.
Well,
It does. It smells wonderful.
I like to use that new long-grain Parish rice that's low on the glycemic index for me.
Oh,
But you still can't-
where do you buy that?
Grocery stores around here have it now.
Yeah.
But you still can't go crazy. I mean, it's rice,
Yeah.
carbs.
We use brown rice all the time.
So you're
trying to eat
more.
I'm sorry?
Are you trying that egg?
Yeah, I like to.
Yeah.
I have to be careful. I don't make food raw.
Cook. My husband.
I like the taste of brown rice. It just tastes forever. I'm
My
hungry.
favorite is wild rice, and there's only one place in the world that's grown. It's in Minnesota, up in those Great Lake areas. And it
Wild
has to
rice?
be- Yeah, real wild rice. It has to be harvested by hand.
Oh my goodness.
Guys in a boat, they go out there with a big stick. Bam, bam. They made
Diabetic rice, but y'all think it's just saying.
He was just talking about that.
I should have brought some of that.
Randy, is that done? Can we,
It's still gonna be another
couple minutes?
10, 15 minutes. Sorry.
Okay, we're done for me, yes.
All there
All we have to do is nomion box, right?
Okay.
Do we have one?
Well, Ellen, would you like one with mostly, or all sauce?
Yeah. I can. This would be for you.
Oh, that was for Jeannie? You want more sauce on yours, Jeannie?
So what's on the timer?
Just a minute. Oh, yeah.
This doesn't have, amount of meatballs in this one, but I can give you all sauce. Okay.
Wait, is that mine?
Mm-hmm. Small, no rice. Okay. You're welcome. Enough?
Oh, yeah.
Cajun country.
Asian country.
Cajun country rice. And if the rice is bad, it's my fault because, that was my one job before
Would you be
this.
quiet down, Johnny?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not used to using a rice cooker. So,
Actually, when I make,
longer to cook brown rice than it does white rice.
oh yeah, I have to put extra
that's my
water in.
excuse for not eating rice. It's too
Like
hot.
the line after.
Yeah.
This is why I make the samples ahead of time, because that last 20, 25 minutes is pain.
13.
Wow. I'm gonna check something.
Water chestnuts, anybody? 'Cause that's what I
I have
have.
my glasses on.
It is water chestnuts.
Yeah, I like them.
Actually, to make all the way.
Himalayan salt?
Oh, police, how did I miss you? I'm sorry.
And your name is, can I put it on Facebook? Okay. What's your name again?
Randy Smith.
That's a hard one, huh?
Ask my accent. Can you switch it to 5? Could you switch it to 5 minutes? This is cooking a little faster than I thought it would.
We're all family here. Right.
This will be ready in 5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay. 5 minutes for the other stuff, y'all. Colleagues, did you get?
Good. Very, very good.
I take my hat off, you, my hat go back on there.
Oh, I'll do it. Only reason I'm wearing one is I don't want, nobody wants hair in their food. And I'm at that age where they kind
All
of,
that.
bye.
This is all for Randy.
Slowly.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm doing it.
You have the kind of hat you put an egg in, like a half
Oh.
off.
No!
Put an egg.
Never thought about that. Yeah, Japanese egg roll.
Yeah,
I wish I had
I
a
asked
dollar
her
for
one
each
time.
and every time I've heard that joke in hibachi grill.
I asked him one time, how did he learn to cook like that at the Hana? He goes, I hollowed. You did not. He just laughed. Yes, toss it.
Thank you.
It's got such an unusual flavor, because you're not really using things that are horribly exotic to me, but the flavor is so different than,
I think your brain is telling you this is a meatball.
yeah.
It should taste like tomato sauce.
Y'all know that Chinese kitchen closed down, the man that cooked there, he died and they closed it down.
What a shame, I love that place.
Another place it closed, is Robbie G's, they closed down too.
Wow. I'm shocked, wow, they were always so busy.
I know it, but he said it wasn't that they weren't doing business, he was just tired, he said, we are tired, we're gonna quit.
Well,
I don't
Jimmy,
understand that.
Where's
Somebody
Chinese
else would
kitchen?
open it up.
Is that the one in Emerald Square?
Yes.
did the walk close? Somebody said the walk closed.
Yeah, it closed about a month or so
The
ago.
Rock closed and, Robbie G's
No,
closed.
I don't have any clean out.
We went,
And Robbie G's said they just got tired, they were ready to stop cooking. Cause they had plenty of business.
Oh, yeah.
we went the last day Oriental Walk, couldn't even get in at lunch, so we said, come back.
Well, you remember when it was crawling on there, Craig?
A little bit. My dad was driving back then. But, we went in the evening and said, unless you want rice, that's all we got left. Everybody's been in there all day. But ought to be,
Another quick commercial break. At the end of this month, we have Tails Long Bayou. Everybody loves that. Everybody loves coming to that. And if you need one of these, just let me know and I'll hand you one. This is our October event guide. And Tails Along the Bayou, which is always so much fun. Kent House.
Yeah, is it there?
October 28th. So if you're looking for something fun to do on a weekend,
At Kent House?
at Kent House.
Well, there's, she's over today, I said, so I won't be there.
Well, and it starts out pretty family, and I don't mean not family friendly, but it starts out pretty gentle. And then the darker it gets, the scarier the stories get. So you might want to bring the young ones early.
It is a good time.
It's a wonderful time. So just wanted to get that in there, get that plug in there for that.
ought to be just about busy. Okay. It cooked a little faster, that's why I was saying you have to be careful.
I need one of those, I'm going to get one. You said you saw them at the Google one? Gotta go get one, 'cause that's crazy. How much they- I don't know how good they are and how useful, they're very useful.
What?
Yeah, that little thing right there, we have cooked more stuff in that thing.
Oh, we did.
Well, mine's pressed steel and it's nice and dark like cat is supposed to be.
Mine's stainless, man. For what I paid for it.
You can
Where's the
buy,
mark, Leon? Oh, that side, over there. The back over there, okay.
It'll be very good,
thank you.
I've got a
Hey,
page
picture
picture.
hers.
Sure.
I understand how babies.
Oh, sure.
Smile. Cord over there. Check it. The
It cut
janitor.
off your head a little bit, but it cut off your head a little bit, but it
That's
looks
okay.
okay.
Did you do one with the camera part so I can put it on the computer? The other camera? The blue? Huh? Oh, I'm glad I found out. I gotta plug it up to the fridge. Oh, well. There's some way to put it on the computer. I just haven't figured it out yet.
From the phone,
Yeah.
you said you need to go.
Uh-huh. Should be any minute. Did you set it for 5? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, it's
Y'all come refill.